Welcome to my first build guide. I must say sorry because this is gonna be a very sloppy build guide. I am not new to making videos like this, so I hope you bear with me in my Dutch accent. And yes, let me first tell you why I made this build. I needed a build that can almost run every map mod. I don't really like rarity and quantity farmers, so I just wanted something that clears as fast and as efficient as possible, and for that I'm using Lacerate. In a second you will see how huge it actually is, because I don't have enough space in my hideout. So firstly I will show you this tier 14 map, then I'll show you my gems, go over my gearing and things like that. I will put timestamps in the top of my screen, so you can click whenever you want to see a boss or just do the gearing or something. So yes, I'll start showcasing the build first. But like I said, don't expect much of video quality. I'm new to making videos like this, so ooh, Soul Eater. Oh, by the way, the build doesn't have to be as expensive as I am currently playing it. Like I am wearing a Headhunter right now. You don't have to wear a Headhunter to make it strong, let alone at serious favor. There are very many good two-handed axes that are 5-linked. They'll work just fine. Clearing will take a little bit longer, but not very hard, because as you can see I'm rarely getting hit, and if I'm getting hit all my HP is back within. Oh, I can go there. Oh. I might even rush to the boss just to show you. So yeah, the general idea was to get as much array of effect and attack speed for just very good clears. And because this build is, even though it only has 5.2k life at the moment, it's very tanky. Like, this is pretty dangerous. Oh, nice. No. And it kills, mobs quite fast. Gotta take it. Okay, so how does this work, and why exactly did I choose for Lacerate instead of Reef? Well, first of all, I hate Reef. It feels like I am on a schedule and I'm late for work, you know? I have to keep those stacks up, which is for me a very unpleasant feeling. Besides that, Lacerate is bigger if you have the right gearing and a quality level 20 version. Especially now that they nerfed the range of Reef. So, okay, what am I doing to make it so big? Well, no, let me talk about the gems first. Of course, Lacerate with quality almost gives like 30% increased array of effect, which is huge. It's insane. I linked it to multi-strike, melee physical damage, fortify, faster attacks, and increased area of effect. These two combined make it almost like, as you can see, on certain parts of my screen, it's going far out of my screen. So multi-strike automatically attacks monsters within my range, and my range is so big that I am automatically killing monsters far outside of my screen, which makes it a very safe build. I can see it like Okay, I'll give my build a name now. Okay, I'll call it the Melee Ranger. Damn. Stupid name, I know. Of course, I'm also using a Carcass Jack, which increases my array of effect even further. But I'll get to my gearing later on. For my single target, I'm using Cyclone, faster attacks, melee physical damage on full life. I took melee physical damage on melee damage on full life because I never get hit. I almost rarely get hit because of the knockback flask. Concentrated effect and added fire damage. Even though I have concentrated effect, my Cyclone reaches like here. And if I switch array effect in, my Cyclone is this huge. So if you don't like Lacerate, that is also a viable option that you can do. It might even reach around here with all those melee increased sizes, because at Serious Disfavor has the biggest Cyclone range of all the weapon types. Okay. Leap Slam, Blood Magic, faster attacks and portal in my helmet. My boots, Warlord Mark, Vulnerability, Blasphemy and Enlighten. You don't have to have a level 4 Enlighten, level 3 or 2 can be enough, but I think you need it because, as you see, I'm almost running out of mana, and having that extra few hits is needed because you don't want to run out of mana. There's a reason why I use Warlord's Mark, and I'll go over that later on. In my boots I have Heart of Ash and Enlighten. Warlord's Mark is my only way of regaining my mana. I have no other way of regaining my mana. This is the way I went for, which works perfectly fine, except for one thing. You can't do hexproof maps, because I won't get any mana of monsters that I can't curse. I also have vulnerability for the extra damage, and that combined with Heart of Ash reserves this around this much, which means it gives me a perfect amount of damage and survivability. Because of my Combs ways, let's go over my gearing first. Of course I have an Serious Disfavor. You don't have to have an Serious Disfavor, you can use a 5 Linked Rare X or something. You will lack a little bit of damage, but like you saw, it's doable. The damage can be very insane when properly geared. Of course this isn't as strong as my glass cannony harvest build that I showcased in a previous video, but all I made this character for is for essence farming and item farming. I make like a shitload of fuses in like no time by just rushing through maps and getting all the rares and looting it, and it's just a very good farm build compared to, in my opinion, compared to those farm builds. I think this is much finer, even funnier to play, and it's too slow paced for me. Well, not this build, but a rarity quantity build. Of course I'm wearing 2 Combs ways, because they are very insane. A Carcass Jack, a good rare with attack speed and physical damage. Well, it isn't really good, but it's doable. A helmet. I have the 12% increased Lacerate bonus. You don't have to, but it's nice to have. Windscreen for the additional curse. Since I use 2 Combs, I can't use the duelist ring. You don't have to use Headhunter because it's very expensive. You can change it for something like Doriana's Invitation or Meginor's. A lot of possibilities. Like I said, you can make this build as budget friendly as you can. You only probably have to play it safe or be a little bit more careful with the rolls you run. Like I said, I run every roll and I just can't die. So this is how, well, I went over the Lacerate increased array of effect, I went over the single target damage. Now the defenses. This build lacks armor, like, as you can see my resistances aren't even maxed. I use my endurance charges to max them out. I know it's kind of cheesy, especially at bosses, but because of my 14-second endurance charges I never die, and this build has done a series multiple times without even getting close to dying. So I have 9 endurance charges, I have Fortify on Lacerate, I can kite easily with Lacerate, so monsters don't even get near me. I can use Lion's Roar for a shitload of armor, and it gives me knockback, which is very strong with Lacerate, nothing get close. Taste of Hate gives me that extra physical mitigation, and I can max my resistances without endurance charges by using these two. I have a Legacy Vessel Finger. It's very good with Warlord's Mark to have that leech applies instantly. You don't have to though. I mostly use it to shock bosses and just shred them. I use this flask to remove my shock, and this is my Series Promise is just for extra damage, extra leech. Goes good with my Vessel Finger. You can make any adjustments here. You can use a Roomies, you can use anything you want, but this is my preferred setup. Well, now my passive to the skill tree. They did nerf it by 10% increased array of effect, but it doesn't really matter. It still gives 30% increased array of effect, the Slayer class, well, Ascendancy, so it doesn't even matter. It's still insane. I went for these two first because the Culling and the Onslaught are just very good for farming, well, and early on. Then I went to these two because of the more damage, the reduced reflect taken, the more area of effect, and these two as last. I'll go over the path I took to level. I started here. Those four, ignore those four. These are later. I took these 5 and went down here through the life, down here, and took these life nodes. After that I went up here, took this because I lagged int. Even if I take it out now, I am 47 int short, so this is I need this. Then I took this life, and then I went down here to finish these off, and at that point I was like level 45 or something, so I took these two because I already could run Blasphemy and Warlord's Mark, which gave me 3 endurance charges, and I could wear these two. So at that point I already had like 6 endurance charges, and I went up here through this instantly for the Resolute technique. I used mostly the Cursed Gear early just to cap it out, and I was like mostly 90% chance to hit all the time. But once I reached this, I was like, fuck a Cursey, full on damage, full out damage I mean, and oh, it was insane once I reached this. And I went down here just to take this one, and these, up here to take this, and I instantly went for the increased array of effect. After that, it's up to you whatever you take first. Like if you want this dual sockets, you can take these 4 are just way too good. I prefer, well, I recommend to take these 4 first. Then I took these. After that I took these, and then I was like almost done. And the last 8 levels I went to take these 4. What did I take more? I took... oh yes, I went down here. Oh, last 6 levels, sorry, my excuses. So I'm currently only building life. If my calculations are right, I'm reaching like 6.5k life if I take those 4 at level 95. which is decent for not using a Golem's Heart. Well, I hoped you like my sloppy build guide. It might have taken a little bit too long, but yes, this is it. And wait, where am I? No, they were activated, I hope. Oops. Oh no, otherwise I couldn't use them. Alright. Well, good day to all of you.